Hello. So today I want to show you a different type of divination tool. Usually we're most familiarized of utilizing the pendulum, or you could create your own stone divination. For example, I have stone divinations where black indicates yes and no indicates no for white or clear stones. But this is very different, and I want to share a new divination tool that I'm very interested in, and I plan to use with my deities. So this is called the Tailor's Moonblocks Jiaobei instructions. So it brings up book of instructions, a little bit of history of it. If I bring it a little bit closer, you can pause and see. They have been used back over 3,000 years ago. Originally, the oracle was practiced using tortoise shells or clam shells. As the centuries passed, those early animal shells became replaced by the wooden crescent moon blocks that you now have before you. In China, the blocks sometimes have inscriptions or sigils carved or painted on the flat surface, either indicating the local temple, magical lineage, and patron deity that an individual is connected to. In this way, some people maintain more than one set of moon blocks, each being dedicated to a different purpose. You may want to personalize your own moon blocks in some way, but that's entirely your choice. So basically, if I want it, I can create some sigils here. It brings consecration for the moon blocks. It says take a red candle, and you're going to write or carve any relevant magical info into the side of the taper. This could be a sigil related to your overall divinatory journey. It could include your practitioner's, your magical name, okay, or magical motto. Many Chinese practitioners will mark their candles with a magical power cross, or even multiple crosses. These carvings are often used to establish a connection with ancestors or spirits, whatever entity or deity you may be calling on to guide your answers with the oracle. There is no mandated recipe for what this might include, so you should adapt it to align with your specific magical styles. After setting the moon blocks on your altar, light the candle and some appropriate incense. Vocalize your prayer, either something prepared or something extemporaneous, while passing the moon blocks through the incense cloud. Set the oracle blocks back down on your altar and leave the candle to burn through whatever you have carved on it. You don't have to be present through the entire process. This candle consecration is a one-time event. You don't need to do this for every use. If you ever want to rededicate your moon blocks to a different deity or spirit, you can simply cleanse them with a selenite crystal. I don't know, for some reason, I had the sense of bringing a selenite and I did not know. Or something magical tool. All right, so it says casting moon blocks. So recite the prayer to your deity or spirit while passing the moon block through to the incense. With the moon block in your hands, concentrate on your question or dilemma that you are seeking guidance and ask a question mentally. Unlike more complex oracles such as the tarot, the moon blocks function in a yes or no capacity. May need to adjust your query into something that can be answered that way. You may find that this works best when you are inquiring about a personal timeline or asking about other rituals and spell work that you may be engaged in. The mechanics of using moon blocks is rather easy. However, the magical intention of the user is where many people fumble. All right, so it says bring both blocks up to your forehead together while imbuing the oracle with your magical intentions. Bring your hands back down, taping the moon blocks once the surface of the table. Then raise your hand back up with a foot above the surface on the table and cast the blocks back down. Some practitioners like to perform the casting 3 times in a row with the same questions, looking for consensus at least 2 out of 3. However, others prefer a single question, beginning asking spirit if they are present and able to help you. From there, moving on to ask several inquiries on a single subject. If the spirit is not present, it may indicate that you are rushing through things. The simplest version of casting would be to say a small prayer and then cast the moon blocks a single time. I love the beige gold color of the sachet. And this is the moon blocks. They kind of look like crescent moons. So let's say if the moon blocks are facing when you cast them and throw them, you ask a question, you hold them, and you cast them on the table. If the moon blocks are facing upward, that means a no. Change the course and make corrective measures for this, whatever question that you're having. Let's say you have yin and yang, meaning the left side is, or the opposite, it doesn't matter. Left side, opposite, could be like this, upward, and this, facing the flat surface upward. It means a yes. So the yin and yang are achieved when one crescent block shows its concave. It could also be like this, concave side is up while the other displays its flat side up. The configuration symbolizes a harmonious balance between yin and yang. The outcome is positive, signifying a yes or an affirmative response and success anticipated in the matter at hand. And then let's say you have a double, you cast it and you have a double upside down flat surface on both crescent blocks. This means that it suggests that the spiritual entity consulted is currently withholding an answer while you are on the right track. Additional effort is required for success. The presence of spiritual guidance is strong, yet the answer is not forthcoming. Sometimes this indicates that you are simply rushing the results and try again later. And also the double yang is known as the laughing gods. So basically the gods don't want to tell you anything, or the deity, and it means in your dreams, you won't know yet. So this is for a deity that I have become very close to, and I'm continuing to study more about her and doing my own sigil and self-initiation with her. And I might end up getting another one for another deity. And this is a Chinese deity, or deity, as some pronounce it. But I'm really looking forward to consecrating this and using a red candle and creating my own prayer for that deity. And I got this at Etsy, and I will share on the comments and pin it. That way, if you're interested, you could get it. Sometimes it's good to try different divination tools when communicating with spirit. This can also be used for your ancestors too. So this is a simple video. I'm not going to show how I consecrate it because that's going to be for my own personal experience. However, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. And if you're interested and you want to get your own, go for it. I'll make sure to share it in the comments, pinned. That way you can reach the link and buy your own. Thank you and enjoy your day.